So the Patriots have a chance to clinch the division with a win over the Bills, okay? And even though the Pats beat the Bills in Week 5 and have home field advantage, the Patriots are a 1.5 underdog against the Bills on Sunday. Make it make sense for me. The Patriots, obviously, as I said, had already beaten them. They're at home, and yet they're still dogs in this game. Should the Bills be favored in Foxborough? What do you think, Peter?
I do think they should be, and I know that sounds blasphemous. They should. That's fine. They should be favored. The Buffalo Bills have years and years of big game experience. The Bills have years and years of Josh Allen being Superman when it matters most, and the Buffalo Bills are coming off their best win of the season, in which Josh Allen threw that team on its back in the snow and said, let me lead us there, and we can get the job done. There is institutional knowledge here. There is that the Bills have beaten the Chiefs this year. The Bills have beaten the Bengals this year. The Bills have done big things, and they are cresting at the right time. Patriots coming off a bye have been awesome. I can't poke a hole in anything they've done, and it's been an amazing story. But I think it's fair if the people in Vegas and the fans at home are saying, okay, you beat the Bills earlier in the season. Can you do it again when it matters most? The truth of the matter is this. It's a hat and T-shirt game. There's no better place to be than home. Coming off a bye in Week 15, they should win this game. There's no reason they shouldn't win this game. But I think everybody has the faith and the knowledge and the experience with Josh Allen and that Bills team that they're giving them the benefit of the doubt in this game.
Go ahead, Swagoo.
I don't think they should be favored. I understand why. And it's strictly because of Josh Allen. Trey, you made the point. Like, Josh Allen is the reason why the Buffalo Bills are favored, the 54% in this game. But the New England Patriots are a better football team than the Buffalo Bills right now. And they've shown it pretty much all season long. Now, I got a tremendous amount of respect for Joe Burrow and what the Cincinnati Bengals do. The Cincinnati Bengals ain't world beaters. And it took everything Josh Allen had in order to beat that football team in the snow, in those elements. And this is a part of why Josh Allen's greatness that we need to mention at times. And this is also a part of the conversation of him maybe not having to face Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs in order to try to go win Buffalo's first Super Bowl with Josh Allen. So I got a lot of, I understand why this would be the sentiment. I understand that it's hard to beat a team twice. I know that it's a divisional game. I know that Buffalo is playing, kind of under some emergency pretense as far as them wanting to beat New England, but not only beat New England, but continue to build as they go towards the playoffs. But I think the New England Patriots are the better team, and they at home, and they have a chance to win this division for the first time in a long time. And Mike Vrabel, I don't know if anybody, I'm serious about this, Stephen A. and Shrakes. I don't know if anybody prepares their team better for a football game than Mike Vrabel does. I don't know if anybody comes into a game and understands the adjustments that need to be made in order to win a football game. So I put a lot of respect on that.
You can't help but respect Mike Vrabel. I think he's the coach of the year right now. I think it's a 1-2 battle between him and Ben Johnson in Chicago. Having said that, let's not forget, we saw times in Tennessee when, let's say, they should have looked better than they actually did, and he was the coach there. Not that he deserved to lose his job, because they'll suffer for years letting him go because he's a great coach. But nevertheless, I'm just saying there have been times when Tennessee has had their moments. So I'm not going to go that far. I've seen he's an elite coach. But there's some other elite coaches that have their team prepared as well. I think Sean McVay probably is the best in the business personally. That's just me. But I will say this. I was with Peter on Buffalo. Should the Bills be favored on the road? I was inclined to say yes because of Josh Allen. And then Peter, Swagoo, Shae, I remembered something. 12 targets, 10 receptions. 146 yards receiving. Stephon Diggs, a former Buffalo Bill, now in New England. And so I'm thinking along the lines of, them brothers thought I was finished. And, I wanted out and, me and Josh Allen, whatever, and I went to Houston and I was doing my thing with CJ and then I got hurt and, now I end up in New England. Y'all didn't think I was going to be here, did y'all? Y'all all thought that I was coming to a New England Patriots team that was fresh off of back-to-back 4-win seasons, and we weren't going to do a damn thing. And Buffalo, my former team, was going to own this division. Y'all, that's what y'all thought, right? And then after that, here we come, and we roll into Buffalo, all right, motivated. And we took it to y'all, and I did it because May and Vrabel and those boys and Josh McDaniels, they made sure to feed me the football. We did that in Buffalo. And that's when people were doubting us. Now we got the lead. We got a division crown on the line that we can secure with this victory, okay? On our home turf against my former team. I'm looking at it like that, y'all, and I'm saying, nah, I can't put the Buffalo Bills as the favorites in this one. I really, really think that
and Stephen A.
Nuggets, Peter, you can appreciate that. Those kind of nuggets to do it for
Go
ahead, Swag.
Swag, you go quick, yeah.
Stephen A., beyond that, you, Shregs, and Shae, have y'all seen the birthday content from Stephon Diggs? Him and Cardi B.
Bye week.
The man just launched a furniture line. He had a bye week. He's had a phenomenal week. I would think that he would want to cap it off with winning the division in New England because his week has been phenomenal. His week is things that dreams are made of, Stephen A., when you're talking about a bye week. If you haven't seen the content, go back and look at it, big dog. He's had a phenomenal run, and I think he's going to continue it when they play the Buffalo Bills.
I love his bye week content. I would enjoy that 52 weeks out of the year.
Happy belated.
I think you know. That said, this guy, I talked to Josh McDaniels yesterday, and I said, Diggs, what'd you think you were getting? What'd you get? He said, all that stuff aside, absolute bulldog, does anything for the team, blocks, is great in practice, and is the mentor to all of those guys. He has exceeded expectations. So, Stephen A., you're spot on. And guess what? He would like to beat Buffalo, not just once, twice.
The Eagles' offense had issues Monday night against the Chargers. Jalen Hurts committed 5 turnovers in the 22-19 loss. Philly has now dropped 3 straight games. With Hurts struggling, Nick Sirianni was asked just this morning, I can't believe I'm saying this, about the possibility of benching him.
Is Jalen definitely your starter Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a possibility later this season, if he continues to struggle, that you can make a change at the quarterback spot?
No, I think that's ridiculous. I think, Jalen Hurts, I know every time I go out in that field with Jalen Hurts as our quarterback, we have a chance to win the game. And that's something that's been proven. You win together as a team, you lose together as a team. It's never just one thing. Every time I walk out in that field and Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback, I have so much confidence that we can win every game and any game that we play and that we're in.
I can't even believe this is where we're at. We are with the Philadelphia Eagles. Kimberly Martin joins us now here on First Take. Kmart, floor is yours. This is ridiculous to me, but your thoughts on what Sirianni just said.
I think the fact that he's even asked this question shows where we are in Philly. The fact that this is a team from the head coach to the play caller, their OC, to the O-line, to the running back, to the wide receivers and the execution, the quarterback. There are so many issues with the Eagles, but the quarterback is going to take a lot of the blame, and I think it's unfair. I think the fact that people want to see a backup quarterback versus a guy who just won you a Super Bowl is wild to me. But I'm not surprised. I think things in Philly similar to New York. I just think when the volume gets turned up, I think you're going to look for somebody to blame. And unfortunately, all of this to me falls on Nick Sirianni because they're not changing the play calling. They're not changing any of the way they operate this offense. And it falls under his watch. I think he's more to blame than the quarterback is.
Marcus?
Go ahead, Swaggo.
They had opportunities to make plays, and Jalen Hurts made a phenomenal throw to A.J. Brown in the end zone to score a touchdown. The ball was a little bit too high in the middle, but to Stephen A's point, A.J. would even admit that he needs to catch that and continue a drive extended. I understand the interceptions. I get it. I watched Matthew Stafford against Carolina throw 3 interceptions. I watch guys have bad weeks. Jalen Hurts is going to be the starter, remain a starter, and is a Super Bowl champion for the Philadelphia Eagles. And listen, I'm not crazy to think that you both don't know what you're talking about with Philly. I understand Philly. I played for the Dallas Cowboys. I know what this fan base is about. I know how they respond. I know the ridiculousness of sometimes what they talk about and what they say. But with all due respect to Phillies fans, this dude has just won a Super Bowl 6 months ago. We are 6 months removed from you guys hosting the Lombardi Trophy and him being the Super Bowl MVP. I understand that doesn't mean anything right now because you're watching what you're going through. But if I would have any confidence in any quarterback that has told me time and time again that I can get things right, that this team can play better, that I can play better, it would be Jalen Hurts. He came into the league under adversity. He played for a franchise that already had a quarterback they thought they were going to win multiple Super Bowls with in Carson Wentz. That ended up not working out. He was the second-round pick that wasn't supposed to play. He was the guy that couldn't throw in college. All of these things. He's built the right way. That's my point, Stephen A. I get where you guys are coming from. I understand what Kmart said, understand what you said, understand what Shae said. But sometimes, can I just call crap on certain things that I hear? Now, if Jalen Hurts is going to play like this the rest of the season,
right,
and it's going to carry over in the next season, we can have a conversation. I have not seen that be a trend in his career since he's become the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm not buying into it as much as everybody wants to.
Well, first of all, it's a couple of things. Number one, Kimberly was absolutely right with what she was saying. But let me, before I get back to that, let me get to you for a second, Swagoo. All right? I need you to be a bit more honest. If you suspected that tugging on somebody's cape and messing with them a little bit could get them going, because history shows that the more adverse circumstances a quarterback is under, the better they perform, wouldn't you do it? See, the point is that, let's stop acting like Dear Abby here, okay? We know they're the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. We know he's a Super Bowl MVP. We know that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the first Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has proven who he is and what he can do. We know that. But it's
so why are you treating him like he a baby? Why are you treating him like he a baby?
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm not treating him like he's a baby. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is that Philadelphia is Philadelphia, like Kimberly said. And they're going to tug at you because you really think about this. Fall back for a second, stop huffing and puffing, and think for this for a second. You really think that the Philadelphia faithful out there is craving for Tanner McKee? So just pause for a second. Put Marcus up on the camera, please, because I want to see him. Put him up on the camera. Are you really thinking that Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, is clamoring for Tanner McKee?
No.
A 6th-round pick a couple of years ago, who, by the way, has some promise. We'll see. But the point is, of course they're not. What they're trying to do is say, yo, Jalen, what's up? By the way, 8 yards rushing. We know you run with the football much better than that. What's up with this? Are you telling them you don't want to run no more? You don't want to be that dual threat? We see you squatting 500 pounds. We see how big you are. We know you can take more punishment than a typical quarterback. We saw the throws in the clutch, by the way. Big time throw to Devontae Smith in the 4th quarter. We get all of that. What they're saying is, and I'm not saying they're right. Come on now. I'll criticize Philly when necessary. I'm just saying to you, right now, the urgency of the moment. You're right, it shouldn't even be a question that was asked. But it's Philly, and they messing with them. Because they know when you do that, Jalen Hurts steps up and performs.
All right, let's get to a quick take now. Marcus, your thoughts on Phillip Rivers signing, not considering, but actually signing with the Indianapolis Colts?
Yeah. Well, Shae, I grew up in a Baptist church, Black Baptist church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And when you get scared and when you need the Lord to intervene, you call your prayer warriors. That's what I'm doing for Phillip Rivers, trying to come back and play at 44 years old after being out 5 years. I'm nervous for him because he plays the Seattle Seahawks this week. And if anybody has seen that defense play, I'm not sure if that's where you want to be if you're a good quarterback that's been playing and having reps. Not sure how this is going to go. Riley Leonard may play, but Phillip Rivers coming back after 5 years, all I'm doing is summoning the prayer warriors that when he leaves this season, he can leave out the way he came.
Can I say this real quick, y'all?
Yes, go ahead.
Jay, can I say this real quick? I need to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Spears is not joking. I mean, this is
I'm
serious.
not playing.
The man is 44 years old. He's a grandfather, and he has been away from the game for 5 years. We keep talking about, oh my goodness, he's been away for 5 years. He's older now, and then we bring up as an aside that he's going up against an elite defense like the Seattle Seahawks. You know what I'm going to ask America to think about? And Swaggo, I'm going to say this to you, and you're going to nod your head with affirmation. Don't just think about the Seattle Seahawks defense being elite. Shae, Swagoo, how about this? How you think Seattle's supposed to feel? You think those grown-ass men who are elite, how do you think they take to you thinking that you can get a grandfather that was coaching in high school kids, that's been retired from the game, and just straight off of that, he ain't had even a week of preparation, and you gonna throw him on the field against us? Think about this. When you look about the Texans, you think about Hunter and Will Anderson and how ferocious that defense is. Could you imagine how Seattle is going to come at this man? Forget if they don't sack him. How about if they just hit him? How many hits you think he can take? This is unbelievable that this is a situation that is occurring. Prayer is seriously warranted for Phillip Rivers this weekend if he is put out on that field against that Seattle Seahawks defense. They're going to be like a bunch of piranhas because it's damn near offensive that you think you could take somebody in that situation and just put them on the field against an NFL defense, let alone one as elite as Seattle. I'm very worried about the health of Phillip Rivers. Seriously.
Yep, he better bring gifts for all of his offensive linemen, and I say that very nicely because they are going to have to protect him. That is for certain if he does start or get some game time against the Seattle Seahawks this week. Let's go to the Cleveland Browns now. Shedeur Sanders had a really good performance on Sunday in a losing effort, unfortunately, against the Titans. In his third start of the year, Shedeur threw for over 350 yards. He had 3 touchdowns while running in another. Head coach Kevin Stefanski rewarded the rookie's performance by naming him the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. That's 4 games left. So, is Cleveland, though, the right place for Shedeur to continue his journey in his career? K-Mart's back with us now. K-Mart, you can go first. What do you think?
Honestly,
you spent a lot of time there, girl.
I do. And honestly, I'm not sure if it is the right place. Let me be clear. Shedeur Sanders, through these 4 games, has shown that he deserved to be the starter, which he is for the rest of the season. And he has 8 games to show this organization that I should be the #1 guy going into next year. The question for the Browns, however, is when you've got 2 first-round picks, at least right now, is an 8-game sample size enough time to say, yes, this is the kid. This is the one that we should put all our chips into the middle of the table and say, we're going to ride with him. I don't know if they're going to look at it that way. Kevin Stefanski, their head coach, has taken a lot of heat. And in defense of Kevin, since Shedeur was the 4th-string quarterback, he was meeting with both of the rookies. He was meeting with Shedeur 1 to 3 times a week, changing the practice schedule to make sure that Shedeur would be ready when he had the opportunity. So I understand why the play calling gets killed, why we're taking Shedeur off the field. That needs to be criticized. Tommy Rees, I don't understand the play calling there. It leaves me confused. But Kevin Stefanski has done things behind the scenes that people don't know, that they're not talking about enough, to make sure that Shedeur would be ready when he had the opportunity. But again, if you are the GM, you want Shedeur to be the starter because it makes financial sense for us to have this rookie quarterback, this young quarterback, and we build around him in the draft. I don't know if 8 games is enough for this organization. I don't know.
Before I answer this question, Kimberly, let me ask you this. Isn't Deshaun Watson due $46 million next year, and it's like an $80.7 million cap hit? Is that not true?
That's why he's still here. The question is,
right.
Yeah.
I'm saying they can't get rid of him for next year. I mean, they can't do anything with Deshaun Watson before 2027. Is that not correct?
Right. They can't move on from that. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean he has to be the starter. He's here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we all know that if you paying the man $46 million and he's an $80 million cap hit, you ain't gonna sit him on the bench for Shedeur Sanders. So the reason I'm bringing that up and I asked that question for confirmation is because my answer to this question as it pertains to Cleveland being the right place for Shedeur Sanders is absolutely not. I don't like the way he was treated. I don't like the procrastination in terms of getting him some reps that he needed before he was thrown into a game in the third quarter when Dylan Gabriel went down. I don't like the hesitancy on the part of Kevin Stefanski and naming him the starter for the rest of this season when you know you got nothing to lose and all you're trying to find out is what he can bring to the table. I don't like him being pulled out of the game on 2-point conversions, especially when you're intending to throw the damn football. I don't like any of the stuff that I've seen in Cleveland. I don't think that's the right situation or the right scenario for him by any stretch of the imagination. The sooner he gets the hell up out of Cleveland after this season is over, the better it will be for his football career in the NFL.
Marcus?
Stephen A., you're right. The overall arching answer is no, it's not the right place. But it's also one of them situations where for Shedeur Sanders, if he was to become a really good quarterback in Cleveland and have a tremendous amount of success, the story would be unbelievable because this team has botched this position for 100 years, feels like. And the fact that he came in with so much adversity and the draft night and all of the things didn't go well, and he somehow, some way becomes Cleveland's starter and is able to play high-level football and have a successful time while he's there, would be unbelievable. It would literally be the answer to all of the naysayers before he came into this season. I was one, Stephen A., when we talked draft night, if you remember, me and you went toe-to-toe about Shedeur Sanders and me saying that him not going top 3 wasn't surprising to me. Him not going first round wasn't surprising to me. And we reconnected after the draft, after that 5th round selection. And I told you, yeah, everything you said was absolutely right. Because no one should be absolved for this man going 5th in the 5th round of the NFL draft based on what he did. I thought he was a first-round talent. I just wasn't shocked that he didn't get drafted in the 1st round after talking to so many people while I was at the draft. Here's the deal, though. With all of the things that's worked against Shedeur Sanders, I'm proud of the young man for what he's done up until this point. Playing well.
So am I.
Look, we know the Tennessee Titans ain't world beaters. We know that he didn't play the most staunchest of defenses against the Las Vegas Raiders and the Titans, but preparation showed that he can play that way. His preparation and being treated as the starter and being prepared to play showed that he can go out and execute, obviously, what they wanted him to do so. So this is about buying more opportunity after more opportunity after more opportunity. And honestly, that's the way of the NFL when you're not a top draft pick at quarterback. You don't get the benefit of the doubt. You don't get the excuses made for you about, well, let's give him more opportunities and he'll get better. I think saying Cleveland is the right place, I'm not sure if I want to go that far, but it would be a hell of a story if he balled out as the Cleveland Browns quarterback with everything that's transpired around him.
I want to bring something
Kimberly.
up. I feel like this question should maybe say, is Cleveland the right place for quarterbacks? Period. We've seen the mess that's happened with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Complete disaster with from the contract to what's transpired on the field. Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco got first-team reps in training camp. They're not even on the team anymore. Then you have Shedeur Sanders saying he never got first-team reps.
Yeah.
The quarterback room had 2 rookies that didn't know how to divide it. It's been a disaster.
Shae, everything you say is right on point, and you still missed it. Let me help you out. This is the 11th starting quarterback under Kevin Stefanski in 4 years.
11.
So Kimberly, when do we look? Yes, he's a 2-time coach of the year.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, in the interest of full disclosure, all right, I'm very good friends with his daddy, who's an NBA executive. Okay? I've known Ed Stefanski for many, many years. I have love for this man, which is why I root for Kevin Stefanski. Okay? But the reality is, I mean, damn. When do I get to look at you? You're a head coach. 11? 11 different coaches. Can anybody work?
Go ahead, K-Mark.
Anybody?
So here's the
Go
problem.
ahead, K-Mark, because I know you want to say something.
The Deshaun Watson trade, that is the big albatross that has handcuffed this organization. Not just from who's our quarterback, because Deshaun didn't play well and then he got hurt multiple times, but now you gave up multiple years of first-round draft picks. So when you look at this team right now, they're playing a bunch of rookies who are playing fantastic right now. But part of the issue is that they had Deshaun Watson. That didn't work out. So you're constantly, I just feel like this organization hasn't been on the same page. There was the Dylan Gabriel and the drafting of Shedeur. I think you're looking at Shedeur like he's still there. He could develop into something, which he has, right? But you could argue when they, listen, I was supposed to cover the Browns in the draft this year, and when I saw them take Shedeur on top of Dylan Gabriel, I was like, this cannot work. Because you cannot develop two guys at the same time. And in credit to Stefanski, he tried to. Yes.
Well, see, hold on, Swag. See, Kimberly, that's you being nice. That's you being nice, and I don't knock you. You're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's you being nice, and here's why. I understand Deshaun Watson, $230 million guaranteed, strapping an organization. We're not talking about how the Browns look collectively. We're talking about a head coach that can't seem to get any quarterback to work for him. 11 different starting quarterbacks in 4 years?
Here's when I brought up the play calling, because in the last couple of years, Kevin has been the play caller, then he's given up play calling. They had Ken Dorsey here. Now it's Tommy Rees. And so when Stefanski says all the play calls, taking Shedeur, it's on me, it's like, are you the one calling that play? Because I don't understand why you would take Shedeur.
But it is on him, Kimberly, because he can't find. It is on him if he can't find the right person to make the calls.
I agree. The back
that's
him not calling the offense, not having ownership of what is going. It's a lot. I totally understand.
It's a headache. Okay, they 11. They had 5.
Can I get in here
this year in the same quarterback room? 5.
Can I get in here?
Go ahead.
Can I get in here, Shae?
Yes.
Can I get in here? I love this conversation that we having, and I love that we're talking about the 11 quarterback. This ain't new in Cleveland. This ain't Kevin Stefanski. This been going on. This is the Stefanski era of screwing up the quarterback position. Actually, there's a guy in Tampa Bay by the name of Baker Mayfield that has proven he can play quarterback in this league. And when he was in Cleveland, I was hard on Baker Mayfield because he looked like he couldn't play football. He had a great rookie season, a lot of things going on. This is organizational. This ain't Kevin Stefanski only. Now he's playing his part because it's his time in the long movie role of the Cleveland Browns. Okay. But this guy has been a playoff. This guy's been a playoff head coach.
Yo, bro.
He's had success here before that Cleveland didn't see. This is organizational, Stephen A.
Against my Steelers. Okay, won one playoff game against my Steelers, but Baker Mayfield is quarterback. Fine.
Before he got there.
But I got it. But what I'm saying to you is that you were hired to fix it. I mean, damn. I get to look at you and say, yo, what's up? When I'm talking about 11 different quarterbacks in 4 years, clearly you're the one that's struggling with finding the right guy behind center as of late. Yes, organizationally.
Stephen A., they paid.
Come on down.
I understand.
Stephen A., but we said on this show, go ahead, K-Mark.
I just think you're glossing over, you're making Deshaun Watson a footnote to the story. When that entire situation, when you don't have draft picks, you cannot infuse the roster with the right amount of talent. So not only do you have a quarterback who's not playing well, who also is hurt, now you're scrambling with backups. The roster has not been that good offensively, and now they finally got some first-round picks, and look at them. Look at the young kids they have right now.
Hold on, Kimberly. I'm coming right back at you. Before there was Deshaun Watson, you had Baker Mayfield. Like Swagoo said, we were tried at him for having more progressive commercials than wins at the time. We didn't know if he could play. In Cleveland, under Kevin Stefanski. So much so that they went out and gave Deshaun Watson that money. If Baker Mayfield had been proven to be the player that he is under Todd Bowles in Tampa, if that Baker Mayfield was in Cleveland, there would not have been a Deshaun Watson. There would not have been a $230 million guaranteed contract. Baker Mayfield, what is he at? About $33 million? About $33 million? And which, by the way, is a bargain for him. It's a bargain for him the way that he has played because he has proven he's a baller. We didn't see it in Cleveland. Who was coaching that?
But we did see him win a playoff game. Wasn't that the last playoff game they won? Yeah. I mean, at least he was doing things at the quarterback position instead of what's happening
But Shae,
now.
I'm saying, Shae, basically you went out and got Deshaun Watson because you didn't believe in him.
Right. Thinking it was an upgrade. Which
that's what I'm saying.
It has not been, and it has handcuffed the organization, to Kimberly's point. All right, we got to get a break in here.